That's right, I'm at the mountain in Rock Creek Park, and I'm going to tell you a story about how Grandmother Spider stole the sun. This is a story that's adapted from the Muskogee American Indian tribe. A long time ago, when the earth was new, there was no sun in the world. It was dark and cold, and it was very hard for all the animals. So one day they got together and Bear told the animals, "I have heard that on the other side of the world there is something called the sun, and it's bright and it gives light and warmth to all the people there. But they will not share it. What if we send somebody to go and steal a little bit of that sun for us to have too?" So the animals thought that was a very good idea. And so they talked amongst each other and they thought, well, who should go and try and steal the sun? Well, Fox was a tricky fellow. So he said, I will go and steal the sun. So Fox ran as fast as he could all the way to the other side of the world. And there he saw the sun shining in the sky. And it was bright and it was warm and the plants were growing tall and all the people living there were very happy. So Fox was determined to bring that sun back. So he took a little piece of it in his mouth and he ran, but that sun was so hot, it burned his mouth and he couldn't hold on to it anymore and he dropped it. And he came back. He said, I'm so sorry. I tried to bring the sun back, but it burned my mouth, see? And he opened his mouth and the inside of his mouth was all black. And to this day, all foxes have black mouths because of that first fox who tried to steal the sun. So then the animals thought and thought. And Possum said, I will go and steal the sun. I am small, but I am brave. And so Possum went off to the other side of the world. He too saw the sun shining brightly in the sky, and it was warm and bright, and everyone was happy. He said, I will get the sun. And so he decided that instead of his mouth, he would wrap the sun in his long, big, beautiful, bushy tail. He was so proud of that tail, and it could curl around. So he wrapped the sun up and curled it around his tail, and he headed back to the other side of the world. But along the way, the sun got hotter and hotter, and it started to burn all the beautiful fur off of Possum's tail, until when he got back, his tail was just a long, naked tail, and he couldn't hold on to the sun any longer. It started to burn, and whoop, down went the sun, and back came Possum with his head hanging low. I'm so sorry, said Possum. I tried, but it burned all the beautiful fur off of my tail. Now I have a naked tail. And the animal said, that's okay, Possum. You were very brave to go and try. Who will go and try again? Now Grandmother Spider crept out. And she was old, but she was wise. And she said, I will go and steal the sun. And so she went all the way to the other side of the world. And there she wove a web. And she wove that web and wove that web until it made a nice little bag. And Grandmother Spider put the piece of the sun into the bag. And then she took her long spider silk and she ran back across, carrying the piece of sun inside her spider silk bag. And she brought it all the way back to the other animals. And they said, oh, the sun is so bright and so warm and so beautiful. Where shall we put it so that everybody can have some of that brightness and warmth? And they all talked and talked amongst each other, and they decided that up in the sky would be the best place to put the sun so that it could shine down on all of the earth. Well, who will put the sun way up in the sky? I can't fly, said Grandmother Spider. Well, Buzzard said, I can fly. And so Buzzard volunteered to take the little bag of Grandmother Sun's spider silk with the sun inside, and he put it right on top of his head, which was full of the most shiny, beautiful black feathers you'd ever seen. And Buzzard flew higher and higher into the sky, and as he flew higher, that sun started to burn through the spider silk and started to burn through his feathers, and it got hotter and hotter and hotter, and Buzzard felt like turning back. He felt like dropping the sun, but he did not do it. He was so determined to help all of the animals that he kept flying higher and higher, and the spider silk was gone, and then the tops of his feathers were gone, and Buzzard had no feathers at all on his head and all the way down his neck, and then his skin started to turn all red and wrinkly, but he did not stop flying. He flew as high as he could until finally he flung the sun up into the sky, where it still stays to this day. And then Buzzard flew soaring back down to earth, and the animals all cheered and said, "Hurrah for Buzzard!" And Buzzard, to this day, is a very ugly bird. He has a red, wrinkly head and no feathers at all. But it doesn't matter. The animals still revere him as one of the most important of them all, because he was so brave to bring the sun up into the sky, where to this day we see the sun and it warms our earth and helps the plants to grow and helps people to be able to see. And everyone now can have a little piece of the sun for part of each day.